question is, why aren't we doing it at scale?
Well, I think, and correct me if you see something different. One thing that I see is a lot of people dismissing that you can't motivate anybody, right? I don't know how, I feel like that's something I hear constantly is, man, even entrepreneurs, business owners, anyone just saying, you can't motivate these people.
Yeah.
And what I recognize is that their only form of motivation that they typically have tried is whether or not they chastise them or pay them money. And it's just like, well, I try to pay them money and I scolded them and they still don't do it. So there's no way to motivate them. However, you see all the time what it looks like to demotivate someone. You can literally see the demotivation. So it's like, for me, it's if you can demotivate, then you can 100% motivate.
I think that's right. And I think by the time people end up in the criminal justice system, they are demotivated. They feel like either things aren't fair or they can't achieve something. And I think when they run into people who treat them not with dignity and respect, because those are like the absolute minimum, right? But with also a humane expectation for who they can be.
Yes.
You will see people sort of recognize and rise to that challenge.
Yes.
In some very small ways, we do this. Like I was at the behavioral health docket for the city a couple weeks back for a client, and I'm watching this engagement between the judge and the client, and I'm thinking to myself, why can't we extend both the logic and the humanity of this moment into all
because in that instance, it's almost like they've only in that instance identified that this is a mental health issue, that the person's not just a piece of shit and not just a demon,